Hello, dear students. How are you all doing? In this class, we are going to read the first chapter of NCRT Class 8 English, The Best Christmas Present in the World. This story is going to be about the best Christmas present. Actually, in this story, we are going to read two stories. There is one letter which the narrator finds it in a table, and the story written in that letter, and the story of the narrator. Let us see what happens in the story, which are the two stories in this chapter we are going to read. Let us start it. There are some dates or periods of time in the history of the world that are so significant that everyone knows and remembers them. So this story is about something happened, some very significant event happened, which was mentioned in the letter, which narrator found. So it is telling that in our life also something very strange sometimes happen. It may be a good incident or a bad one, but we can never forget that because it's a very significant event in our life, very important incident that took place we have never imagined about. So in this chapter also there is such one event, there is one such event which happened in someone's life and he is mentioning about that. So let us go ahead. The story you will read mentions one such date and event, a war between the British and the Germans in 1914. Can you guess which war it was? So in 1914 the World War One was going on, and in World War One there were different countries fighting against each other, but in this story we will precisely be reading about British and Germans, the war which was going between British and German in 1914. Fine. Okay, let us begin with the story. I spotted it in a junk shop in Bridport, a roll-top desk. So spotted means found. Narrator who is narrating the story, he found a roll-top desk in a junk shop. Junk shop is like a shop which will be selling all the unused things. Okay. So the narrator was looking for a roll-top desk and it was very expensive for him. So one day while he was passing through a junk shop in Bridport, the place name is Bridport, he found that roll-top desk which he was looking for. The man said it was early 19th century and oak. So he said it belonged to 19th century, early 19th century, and it is made up of oak. I had wanted one, but they were far too expensive. Expensive means costly. This one was in a bad condition, the roll top in several pieces, one leg clumsily mended, scorch marks all down one side. So this table which I spotted in the junk shop was very much in bad condition. It was broken into, there were so many burnt marks over the table, and it was, the one leg was completely broken, scorch marks all down one side. So there were burnt marks, there were, the table was shaking, the table was shaking, it was broken. So in one word we can say, in one sentence, if we have to describe the table, we can say that the table was in very much bad condition. That's why the shopkeeper of that junk shop was selling it a very low price, or was selling it for a very little money. It was going for very little money. I thought I could restore it. So as I was looking for the table and I found it very way expensive, I couldn't afford it. But when I spotted it in junk shop, I found that the table is being sold for a little money, which I can afford. So I took a risk of repairing it. I thought I should buy it and I will restore it. Okay, it would be a risk, a challenge, but I had to have it. So the table was in such bad condition, because so thinking of also repairing it was very difficult, but this narrator took a chance, took a challenge, took it like a challenge, and he purchased that table. I paid the man and brought it back to my workroom at the back of the garage. I began work on it on Christmas Eve. So I finally purchased it. I finally bought it. Bought is the past tense of buy. He bought the table. He brought it to his workroom and he started repairing it on the eve of Christmas. Clear? Okay, let us go to the next paragraph. I removed the roll top completely. So the cover of the table, it was made, we have seen that it was in bad condition. The burnt marks were there. It was destroyed completely. So he covered the entire, he took out. He pulled the entire cover out. He removed that cover, and then he pulled out the drawers. The veneer had lifted almost everywhere. So on the top of the table, a thin layer of plastic was lifted up. It was damaged, and it seemed that the table had undergone burnt marks, and also through it got damaged through due to water also. Looked like water damage to me. Both fire and water had clearly taken their toll on this desk. So the table underwent through lot many damages through water and through burnt marks. So the last drawer was stuck fast. So he was trying to pull out all the drawers, but the last drawer, he couldn't take it out easily. It was very much stuck. It was shut tightly. I tried all I could to ease it out gently. So first the narrator tried to take out the drawer gently, softly, but he couldn't do that. In the end, I used brute force. And then when he couldn't take it out gently, he had to apply brute force. He had to apply the force, and he could take it out. So that he could take it out. I struck it sharply with the side of my fist, and the drawer flew open to reveal a shallow space underneath a secret drawer. And then when he took it out, when the narrator took out that last drawer, he found there was something secret hidden in that box. And that was the reason it took some time to come out of the table. There was something in there. I reached in and took out a small black tin box. So when he took it out the drawer, he found a small black colored tin box under the in that drawer. So the drawer, in that he got one black tin secret box. Let us see what is inside this secret box. Cello taped to the top of it was a piece of lined note paper, and on that secret box there was something stick over that secret tin box. There was a envelope kind of thing, and written on it in shaky handwriting, Jim's last letter received. And that was the last letter received from a person called Jim. Okay, January 25th, 1950. So on that envelope, on that tin box, there was a page, or there was a paper stick on that tin box. And on that paper, it was written that last letter received from Jim, the person who has sent something or the letter, whose name was Jim. And that was received on January 25th, 1915. To be buried with me when the time comes. And she wanted, and the lady or the man who received that letter, we till now in the story we don't know, was that a lady or was that a man. So that person wanted that letter to be buried with that person itself when the person dies. I'm not using him or her because till now we don't know whether it was the letter to a girl, a woman, or a man. But we know that the letter was from Jim, and it was received on 25th January 1915. I knew as I did that it was wrong of me to open the box, but curiosity got the better of my scruples. It usually does. But that narrator, when he found that something letter in the box, it was wrong of him. He should not read someone else's letter, and that too without asking that person, without taking the permission. But he was so curious. He wanted to know. He was so excited to know what is inside that letter, that he overcome his feeling of guilt, and he took out that letter from the secret tin box. Inside the box there was an envelope. The address read Mrs. Jim Macpherson, 12 Copper Beaches, Bridport, Dorset. So on that envelope the address was written of the person who received that letter. So finally we got to know that the letter was received by Mrs. Jim. Means the letter was sent by Mr. Jim to his beloved wife, Mrs. Jim Macpherson. And the address is also written over on the envelope. I took out the letter and unfolded it. It was written in pencil and dated at the top, December 26, 1914. So it was written on 26th December 1914, just after one day of the Christmas, and it was received on 25th January 1915. Written by Jim, received by Mrs. Jim, long back. Now the letter is narrator has got this letter by chance because he purchased that table. Fine. So this was the first part of the story. The second part, we will see that what was written in the letter. Okay. So I think you have understood the story. Next class, we will be reading the other part of the story. Thank you.